Ah, the holidays, a time of joy, festivity, and celebration. And it's also just a time of time. Suddenly, your Mondays to Fridays are just as free as your weekends. No more homework, no more assignments, no more school. But if you're like me, then you get bored easily. And you also feel a bit weird when there's absolutely nothing for you to do. You may have gone out for lunch with some of your friends, came home and watched a couple episodes of your favorite TV show, and it's still only 6 p.m. What else is there to do? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Darren, and I just completed my third year of med school at Monash University here in Melbourne, Australia. This video is for high school students, for college students, and for university students. And I'll be sharing with you guys some ideas for what you can do in the holidays to make the most out of them, rather than just letting them slip through your fingers. The fourth tip is probably the most important one, and it will really help you enjoy the holidays for a sustained period of time. So please stay tuned until the end of the video. You know those ideas that have kind of always been sitting in the back of your mind, like starting a YouTube channel, learning a new skill like juggling, or going to the gym? These are also the kind of goals that get lost during the school term, when you're busy with the maths test this week or the English essay that's due next week. There always seems to be something that's a little more urgent than those goals you have in the back of your mind. And school not only takes up your time, but your energy as well. It kind of occupies that big chunk of the day, leaving you just the early morning or the afternoon, when you may be a bit tired. But now that it's the holidays, it's a really good time to get started on those goals, because surprise, your whole day is free. And to get kickstarted with those ideas, it's really helpful to write them down and really bring them to the forefront of your mind. Here, it's really useful to break those goals into specific steps that you can follow each day. If you say to yourself, I want to get fit, that's a very vague goal to follow. But if you say to yourself, I will go to this particular gym on Wednesdays and Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m, that's a much easier goal to follow. But there is a small catch, and that leads me into my second point, that the holidays are shorter than you may think. Things that are worthwhile take time. If you want to actually get good at juggling, that takes time. If you want to really start getting a feel of how to make YouTube videos, that also takes time. If you want to make a routine out of going to the gym, that takes time as well. It can take weeks or even months for a habit to stick. And if you really want to commit to a goal and ensure that you can stick to it even when you go back to school and even when everything gets a bit busier, then it's better to get started earlier rather than later. The idea that the holidays are shorter than you may think means that it's also important for you to sit down and actually think about what you want to do. Especially when I was younger, I didn't really have a plan for the holidays. I would just take it day by day, partly because I thought the holidays were really long, but also because I didn't really value them as well. And then a couple months would pass and I would go back to school. To avoid being like young Darren, have a think about exactly what you want to do in your holidays. This may be meeting up with some friends that you don't normally see that much, or going swimming, or traveling somewhere. Then send that message. Hey, let's meet up for lunch next Friday. Or hey, the weather looks pretty good on Thursday, let's go swimming. Or have a look at the flights to a particular place. The holidays are objectively long, but if you keep delaying and not really clarifying to yourself what you want, then you may end up spending a lot of that time on things that you don't really want to do, and then lose out on time to do things that you really want to do. So by clarifying what you want, you'll be able to spend your time a lot more intentionally. When you receive your holiday homework, what type of person are you? Back in high school, some of my friends would complete all the holiday homework in the first week of the holidays, and others would be scrambling to complete it in the day before we went back to school. You don't want the homework to be looming over you like a dark cloud, because it makes it really hard for you to enjoy anything else. When I was younger, I found that studying would sometimes overshadow my holiday time. I'd be out with friends or family, and I'd suddenly think, should I be studying right now? Or should I be reading the book that my school has allocated me right now? The way to avoid that kind of study guilt is to really plan out when you're going to complete your work. If it's a short task like a maths worksheet or some chemistry questions, say to yourself that this Thursday before breakfast, I'm going to complete it. If it's a longer task like a coding project or an English essay, say to yourself that for each day of this week from 7 to 8 p.m, I'm going to chip away at that project. This scheduling also applies if you want to study ahead or study the previous year's content as well. Now you have your own protected studying time, and by having this time specifically set aside to complete all the work that you need to complete, you can also enjoy the rest of your holidays a lot more because you don't have to worry about work anymore. The holidays are a bit like this river of time. It can seem free and limitless, but also messy and uncontrolled. For example, some of my worst sleeping schedules have come about in the holidays. Because when you have no reason to wake up at a set time, or no reason to have meals at particular times, then sometimes you just don't. So you need something to anchor you, an activity that is regular and constant and gives your holidays some structure. Some of my friends have part-time jobs and they take on extra shifts in the holidays, so they're working 7 hours at a time, multiple times a week. I go to swimming training, and that's a couple days a week at a set time as well. You may want to find a job, join a chess club, or go on some regular runs with friends. This way, you'll have more purpose and rhythm to your holidays. You know that, okay, from Monday to Friday, every day of this week at 7 a.m, I have swimming training. Or from Tuesday to Thursday, I have work all day. The activity itself is not the most important part, but having something constant which anchors your day and gives you something to then plan everything else around will help you enjoy the holidays a lot more. The final tip is to not binge. Your exams are usually right before your holidays, and as you study more and prepare for those, at the same time you may be thinking to yourself, the moment the holidays start, I'm just going to watch all the episodes of this TV show that I've been wanting to watch. Or I'm going to play this particular game for hours on end. I know I just said that the holidays are shorter than you expect, but that's more so when it comes to building habits. For enjoying yourself, the holidays are actually quite long. There's more than enough time for you to do any kind of activity that you really enjoy, especially the stationary ones like watching TV or playing games. You probably know this from experience, but when you throw structure out the window and just indulge in a TV show the entire day in bed and then go to sleep at 3 a.m, it may be a little fun in the moment, but you end up being pretty tired and you also don't actually enjoy the activity as much as when you started it. There's a really easy fix for this, and that's to have allocated time slots for activities that are really easy to binge. Just like you would set aside time for studying, you can also set aside time for activities like watching TV, watching a movie, or even reading a book. If you have a TV show that you really like and it's 24 episodes, say to yourself that I'm going to watch 3 episodes each day after dinner. This will bring you a gradual satisfaction over weeks and months, which is more sustainable and also more enjoyable than a quick binge. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. If you've watched to this part of the video, please let me know in the comments below what activities you're looking forward to these holidays. Enjoy your breaks, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.